All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome to the Three Marketeers Show. As you can see, we have, one of a very interesting guy over here. We have Adrian. So today, this is the 18th episode of the Three Marketeers Show. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay.
Number 18 already.
Yeah, 18 we are already 18 episodes. So we do this every week, right? And now it's already like the 18th episode.
Yeah, lucky number.
Yeah. And we wanted to make it like 100. So you are lucky to be the 18. So this is a very good number, auspicious. So what we do here is, every week, every Wednesday, we come live at 10 p.m. over here on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel, because now we are multicasting on 2 platforms. So when you're watching this, if you're watching this, remember to just, say hi. And if you have any questions regarding the topic that we are discussing every day, you can actually feel free to type in the comment below. So before we roll into and bring up our guest today, let me introduce myself. I'm Jason. I help businesses navigate success with Facebook ads. And we have Andrew over here, who is actually an email marketing specialist. And we have Manfred from Singapore, who is actually a mobile app, Facebook ads, digital marketing guy. And, now I actually met Adrian. I actually heard about Adrian a long time ago. This guy is like a legend. Okay. But the thing is, like, we didn't get to meet each other only until when? Adrian, when was the last time we met? The first time we met was sometime
face to face.
The Lazada thing.
The MeTech conventional hall.
That was our first meeting or second? First, right?
I think that wasn't the first time I met.
Know each other.
We last met before 2002, before the lockdown. We last met at the MeTech KL there. Yeah, we sit down.
The Lazada seller conference, right? Something like that. Yeah. So that was the time. So at one time, because for those who know me, right, at one time I was actually kind of like crazy about doing startups and all that. And one of the time that I was doing, one of the startup that I built was actually something like an e-commerce platform, something similar to what Adrian was doing. So back then, right, so noob, right? Back then I was like, don't know anything, but we were doing this and we were looking at everybody how they do it and all that. But over the years, right, Adrian has involved in a lot of things. Like he even co-founded one of the fastest growing so-called e-commerce related portal and like a information portal in Malaysia. And then after that, he's very much into e-commerce and e-wallet. So so that's what I get.
.com, right? When we started.
Back then you were doing ecommercemilo.com. And then eventually he got rebranded into EC Insider. So that's how I get to know. That's how I get to know Adrian. But that's probably a bit fragmented, right? But Adrian, share with us. Give us a brief introduction about yourself. To tell our audiences about you and what have you done in the past few years. Yeah, just give us a quick one.
Sure. Hi everyone. First of all, thanks the Three Musketeers for having me in the 18th episode. I'm honored to be here. Really appreciate for having me tonight. And to me, it's a late night show because I never done a live right at 10 p.m. Normally at this time,
Always the first time.
Oh, I'm drinking now. Okay. But we probably can't do it here. Okay. A little bit about myself. I'm Adrian. I'm actually Penanjit. Okay, I was born in Bukit Batajan, and I'm a UTM Com Science graduate. So I graduated at about 2002, right? So it's like about almost 19 years ago, right?
Wow. Okay, that tells a lot about your age, Hey.
Yeah.
Roughly, around there, around there.
So I'm 41 this year. 41.
Okay.
And no worry, I'm looking as good, right? As even better than I was in my 30s, honestly.
No, you look 28, ma.
Huh?
You look 28, ma. Okay.
My goal is to look 24 every year. Okay, so working on that.
Okay.
So as a com science graduate, for me, I'm a guy that I like to build stuff. Okay. And I'm passionate about retail. Right.
Retail.
So back to my first job, I joined a company called OYL Manufacturing. Have you heard of this company called OYLM?
OYL, air conditioning, ma.
Yes, you're right.
One of the oldest company in Malaysia. Old family, old money.
it was listed back then, and then I think later on Hong Leong Bank bought over a big chunk, invested, and then enabled them to take over a US air conditioner company called McQuaid. So actually, they are the first manufacturing company in Malaysia that actually bought over an US company. Not York.
Not York.
York, they are licensing. They license York brand name. So every year they have to pay 3% royalty fee to York back then. Right? Okay. So of course now they have delays. I think by the time they delist, right, they value at about, if I'm not mistaken, should be about 7 billion ringgit in Malaysia.
Right? Wow.
That's the name of OIL.
Yeah. They are one of the most successful manufacturers in Malaysia ever.
Yeah.
So it was founded by this guy called Mr. Liu, also from Penang, and I think a University Malaya graduate. And when I joined the company, right, I got a few job offer, including some Singapore company. I decided to join OIL because there's an opportunity for me to involve in the special project team. So the special project code name is actually called Warmate. The idea is we can sell air conditioner to household while online. Okay?
Wow.
So back then, the powder itself. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So you see aircon right now you buy, right? The tricky part is what? Why people cannot buy online back then, because you have to arrange for installer, right?
Yep.
And normally, how do we coordinate all this? Yep. And don't forget, there was no 4G back then. There was no mobile phone penetration back then, right? And nobody actually believed in online yet. Before the era of group buying, Malaysia first phase of really online mass adoption on buying online, right? There's one critical point, which is the era of group buying. If you guys remember, there was one time more than 100 over group buying sites just in Malaysia alone. They are the one that started all this e-commerce evolution, phase 1, if you ask me, right? But we are talking about years before. So the idea is we make an aircon cheap enough and try to guess 1 horsepower, how much the retail price we were selling. Aircon.
1 horsepower. Yes. I don't know. Back then,
back in 2005, huh?
20 something. I was not grown enough to look at aircon pricing yet. I don't know.
not reach the point where
the configuration 1,005? 1,000?
It's not a spot cooler, no. It's a real aircon with a compressor inside. We were selling at 599 ringgit.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The idea is make it cheap, free delivery, send to your home. You can DIY installation. Yeah.
DIY installation.
Oh, DIY yourself.
Yes. So, okay, you see, the tricky part is like this. Because they want to make it cheap, they want to take away the installer, right? So, one of our job is to actually talk to housing developers. And remember, all these developers are very, very rich guys. They are tycoon, okay?
Yep.
They don't bother about you, kuchik meow. If you don't have the connection, you cannot even knock on their door, honestly. So we are having a hard time because we want to convince a developer, hey, the apartment that you are building, right? Let's break some hole, pre-install our bracket inside. That was the first obstacle, right? The second obstacle was to make aircon cheap enough, and yet we have margin, okay? Easy to transport, where the noise of the fan, when it blows, right, it won't annoy people. So I actually went down into the production line and I assembled the aircon entire unit by myself before. I did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you guys can see, right, my first job, right, actually I'm more like a what?
Hands-on person.
Entrepreneur in residence, if you call it.
Yeah. Entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's what attracts me to the work. Okay. So I joined in. My main job inside was as an IT executive. Actually, my main task is to roll out a website that customer can buy online and connect to payment gateway, everything else. That was my main role in the project. But of course, it took us about a couple of years the whole project fumble, did not go through. But it was interesting. Seriously, it was very interesting.
I bet. Yes.
Yeah, I did learn a couple of
things. Triggered your. I think that triggered your entrepreneurship kind of like, fire in you, right?
Yes, because it let you see closely, right? You have to know, because this guy, we directly report to the GM. First of all, you imagine, right, we are freshmen. When we come into a big company like OYL, we skip all the rank one. We just report directly to the GM. We don't give a shit about anybody else one.
Sure, them lancy one like that.
GM directly report to the founder, which is Mr. Liu himself. Right. And a lot of time, right, we are sitting in the room together with the GM and Mr. Liu. But later on, I can tell you, I realized one thing. There's a downside to it. You know what? Because we are so fresh, we don't know any shit. Okay? And when you talk to people like GM, all these have, 20, 30 years of working experience. They are so smart people. They manage thousands of people. And you work with this founder that, built this billion-dollar company. Honestly, right, sometimes the thing they talk about, we don't have a clue. We cannot comprehend.
Of course.
That's the downside. Yes. That's the downside of it. Okay?
All right.
So there
but I think it's fine.
I think in order for you to gain from this, right, it will be better if we have some foundation. I give you an example, right? There's one time, my founder, right, he came to office. Then I was reading a book, Peter Drucker, of management, right? So that was one of the go-to book classic.
Yep.
By Peter Drucker. Then my boss asked me, what were you reading? I said, I'm reading about Peter Drucker of management one, blah, blah, blah. Then he asked me, you got people to manage, man? That was the first question he asked me, you got people to manage, man? Right, wait until you got people to manage, I didn't read lah. Kena cycle one round already.
So that was the time where you actually exposed to all these really big shots and all that. And the biggest challenge that you face was you kind of like cannot, like you say, you cannot really comprehend about a lot of things that discussed because you're not at that level.
Yeah, but
so I want to bring to our first question over here, Adrian. Yeah. So I think eventually that actually, in a way, although you cannot comprehend at that point of time, but you actually kind of like gain a lot of exposure because you get to learn. But a lot of times, right, we may have learned something in ourselves, right? We may not know what it is, but when the time comes, we probably would just grab it. But I want to bring back to your entrepreneurship journey because that is something that I believe is really, really inspiring. So how did you started your first company after all this journey that you have in all these bigger corporations and all that? How everything started and, what have you done? I think that's something that I would like to quickly, just get a grasp of, like, how many startups or how many companies that we have built. And can you really give us a little bit of a timeline of what you have done in your entrepreneurship journey?
Okay, then after the OYL journey, so after that, they don't know what to do with me. Okay. Actually, they chuck me aside. Then, eventually I quit. I started from scratch because I decided to build my own thing. Remember, I told you I see myself as a builder, right? I always like to create stuff. And one of the dream is I want to build products, right, that really can add value to people's life. And I would prefer, right, my product to be utilized by a lot of people. Okay. Obviously, because I like retail, okay, and obviously internet fascinates me. When you combine these two, right, you get e-commerce. In fact, when I studied UTM that time, right, I picked the course that major in multimedia because that's the only course that covers some part about e-commerce. There wasn't any major of e-commerce back then, right? I actually want, and my project thesis, right, I did something on the shopping cart side. Okay. So of course, I didn't really get to do it and practice it in my first real job. But after that, when I want to quit from OYL, I pulled one of my colleagues in the IT division one. His name was Steven Yip. So I asked him out and I say, come, let's build something together. That's how we start, actually. Very simple one. And with some, because my belief is like that. We are young, right? And we are not the lazy type. And what's the worst thing that could happen? We burn the money, go back, and we repay the money.
Yep.
Right? So we do kind of thinking only. We don't really think too much. With some borrowing from my parents. And also, I before that, I sell first. I actually sell a car portal project. Okay. The whole thing about 30-40K, you know. And I know that it will suffice to give the money, right, for both of us to start. And even we don't have money coming in, assume we have zero sales, we won't be starving for the next, 6 to 12 months. That I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, as simple as that. That's how we started.
So what was the first company you started? The car portal or what? Was it the car portal that you started?
We get the car portal project so that we get the money.
Oh, you mean to build the car portal first? In a way, you're getting into the web development company. In a way, you're building a web development company.
Oh, from the first day, right? We don't plan to become a software company that customize project. Right?
Okay.
That has never been the thing I wanted to do. No. Obviously, there are a lot of companies very successful in doing that. But that's not the path I want to take. I always prefer to build something, right, that we can control with our brand name one. And I actually have proof, right? We can build things, and preferably a Malaysian make things that can be utilized by a lot of people that actually can add value either to business or people like. That's what actually drive me, right? So it's not like software house, no. I have friends who run software house successfully, right? But that's not what I want to do. You know?
So you got the money from the first project, building a portal.
Yeah.
Then after that, you started your own company. So what was the nature of the company?
The nature of the company from day one,
you started building
e-commerce platform already.
Immediately, it's e-commerce platform. So was that Webshaper? Because that's what I know about Web.
Exactly.
So that was Webshaper.
Yes.
So how many years already at Webshaper up to now?
Sorry?
How many years already at Webshaper?
We've gone through a lot of iteration, man. Right? If you look at Webshaper, right? We started at about 2008. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
2008.
Yes.
It's about 12 years back.
Right. When we do this, remember, we wasn't even started as a SaaS. What we have is we buy a hosting and we sell it as a script, something like a downloadable software. And people purchase, they install it, we help them to install. We were running on Microsoft Access as a database back then. So it was very primitive. But again, we sell first. I want to highlight this. We sell first. Our first company that actually signed up this, right, was a company in JB. So they sell remote control toys. Okay. And the name is Nico, the part of mine.
Nico.
Yeah, my customer name was Mr. Pang. I still remember him. For this early supporter, right, we are always forever grateful. Okay. If not, then it wouldn't probably have take off. We could have failed. Right. Failure is common. Success is not. And
so eventually, because of that, you how do you evolve into a SaaS? Because eventually, the way I know about Webshaper, it was a SaaS. It was a software as a service. Yeah.
Very simple. Because you see, when the early days when we do this, right, and some more, that time we were kind of naive, right. I want to share with you that because my partner back then, Steven, he knows ASP, and we just start with ASP without, looking much at the technology, how it will evolve. This is something we overlook, that eventually we have to pay a big price for that, okay? But as it evolves, we look at this, when we start deploying, install one script on another on different hosting for company, we found there's one big problem. Sometimes when certain things don't work, right, the hosting company blame us. While in fact, it is their problem. Okay? We are not the type that finger pointing one. We talk with facts. Then they will pinpoint and their level 1 support won't be able to handle this. They'll just say, hey, this thing, your program not working. That's why, or your program is eating up my resources, not well programmed, all this nonsense. While they are running on a cheap share hosting, right, with minimum memory, not optimized, So that's when we know, right, if we don't take it over, we cannot provide a good experience, right, for our user and customer.
So before you proceed, let me ask you one question. What is Webshaper?
What do you mean? The name?
What is Webshaper? What exactly the Webshaper do?
Oh, a shopping cart.
Okay. Manfred
Shopping
doesn't
cart.
know you, so
Yeah.
Shopping cart.
Yeah.
Payment
Imagine.
gateway,
something
I
similar to
think.
Shopify lah.
Oh, something similar to Shopify.
Yes.
Website lah,
But
then you can do.
it's very, very successful, and we are not. Right. So that's a difference.
Mm.
I can share with you what I think about Shopify later on as well, why they are so successful. Yeah, because I learned something about how they work. What does it mean by a platform-driven mindset? And Shopify is really the first shopping cart platform that had this kind of mindset. Okay.
So how big is it? Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to hear from you about that thing. But before that, I would like to really drill deeper on the Webshaper. So you actually eventually evolved it into a SaaS company. So how big was Webshaper? Would you be able to just give us some imagination? How many clients you had? How many clients? How many stores?
At one point, right? I mean, the highest peak, right? We have like 2,000 over customers.
Wow, that's not bad.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good.
I can tell you, we have.
So that was I mean, you go on, please.
The whole thing, right? It gone down, right? And how do I put it out? This kind of innovations, right? When you want to render, first thing you have to know the market, right, is very, very competitive. Okay, when you're in a competitive market and the price is not high, customer can easily switch. If you are not at that kind of level or you cannot even maintain it, customer will change. Okay, and remember, I mean, customer will always have choice one, no matter what kind of product and services you are selling nowadays. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
So we kind of fail to keep up, on the service level in terms of our product innovation. In terms of our, I think the product innovation part is the main thing that eventually fails us. Okay, if you want to attribute, because if you talk about service wise, right, I actually kind of proud that I had a very, very dedicated and very, very good support team, And till now, I still have a few key members, right? I transit them over to the Zappy, right? And of course, now we actually rebrand them as a customer success team, okay? Which means the proactiveness, that we care about onboarding customer correctly, we care about customer using our product. So, from at the peak, right, we have about 2,000 over clients, as you mentioned. But I can tell you we did a lot of mistakes. And I can quote you one of the mistakes, right? In the early 2016, right? Okay. Back then, we were doing marketplace sync, It means that, you are from a shopping cart, your product. Because if you have your own online store, the main thing you need to drive traffic, okay? Then, SME sometimes they don't have budget. They don't want to spend money. So one of the better way is the idea, can their products, right, SKU synchronize to marketplace. Because these marketplace, they spend so much money on marketing, driving the traffic, they can tap into that, right? And they are heavily funded. And so in the early 2016, when we have this Lazada Sync thing, we were conducting classes, right? Our sales was going on not bad, I can tell you, right? We signed a lot of customers back then. But my Lazada synchronization did not work. Okay? You imagine, right? We sell to customer something that did not work, first thing. And secondly, it takes us too long to respond and fix it. From that mistake alone, just on the net revenue, right, I think we lose at least, right, 200K
Wow.
of recurring revenue. And not to mention because customers, right, I think the worst experience that come from that incident, 2016 early on. I remember there's one customer, I call him, I say, sorry for the previous hiccup. We have fixed it, we have improved it. And I tell him, we can onboard you back, you can use it totally for free until you're satisfied, only you can start paying us back. Remember, I say that, And you know what? He did not bother because, right, he did not trust us anymore.
Right.
This was one of the most hurtful experience, if I might add, in my entrepreneur journey. Because once your customers lose trust in you, right, you are gone. Okay?
Yeah.
And when they're still whacking you, they actually give you a chance to improve.
Yep.
Right? So that's a painful lesson. Right? So yeah, back then it was on the decline. Listen.
So that was
we
the
have,
time decline lah. Then you actually kind of pivoted in a way. And because of some issues, and did you actually kind of like hold yourself back from e-commerce? Because eventually after that, I learned about you the e-commerce Milo, and of course the Webshaper was still kind of like running, and then eventually I heard about Zappy, and you start sharing with me about Zappy and all that. So I think that is a very interesting moment. That I think Zappy is definitely something worth mentioning, because whatever you are providing is really something that people are interested. But we will look into that. So that is a switch that I kind of like get disconnected. We weren't that close anyway back then.
Very simple. You see, when I had this hiccup, right? Eventually I have a fallout with my co-founder. So things were very bad until like I think the year 2018. I personally don't feel like going back to office.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the relationship was strained. Right.
Okay.
I really was not happy about, in the overall, the tech side, right, of my company. Okay. You like it or not, we are a tech company first. And my tech team, right, are the most important team.
That's right.
So I have like, at the peak, I have 10 over programmers, right, reporting to my co-founders. But the productivity that we are doing, the innovation that we are doing, it's like we are having like 2 people or 3 people, and the speed of rolling out new product, the speed of rolling out integration is unacceptable. Okay. Sales has been telling us we need this, right? Competitors having this, we have to match, we can't, we didn't match up, and we give ourselves a lot of excuses, right? Yeah, and product thing, right, is eventually where we start the downfall. Okay. Of course, this is more complicated than that, right? And this is, I would attribute, is one of the main reasons. Right? Just I give you an example. When you sell Lazada Sing, we sign up a lot of customers, but then recurring is a very powerful business model, right?
Yep.
But we lose, right? There's even one we give them free, also don't want to use. What the heck, right? Yeah. So yeah. Then,
so that was the time.
The period happened like this. That when this happened, right, then we noticed there's this market opportunity actually to cater to the fast-growing platform. So the classic example will be you look at like Ecommerce, right? Eventually WordPress bought them over. You know? And when WordPress buy them over, they will be there forever already. Okay?
True.
They're going to pump in money.
They will not die.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. They will not die. Because WordPress is making so much money, right? So strong, the IG organization itself. And then you look at Shopify, they went listed, the amount of money they raised, and also not to mention, a lot of people might not know. I think the CEO itself, right, is one of the, if not mistaken, the early founding members, right, that created this programming framework called Ruby on Rails.
Oh, wow.
So he's a super smart Canadian. Yeah, you guys might not know it. He's a very
technical
guy. Yeah. So
I mean, Sorry.
Then we see this opportunity, and I actually put some resources in the early 2019. In the early 2017, okay, to start doing this. But even my first version of Zappy was a failure. I can tell you. We launched it in Lazada Sunday convention event, seller event, back in September 2017.
Okay.
After we launched, we promote it. We spend 10,000 on the event itself. Then we go and have booth, promote it. We hire some beautiful models, help us to distribute the brochures, right? Create a lot of hoo-ha, like what we always like to do with the event. We get a few hundred sign up. Then problem come. Users start to report about bugs. All right. Then the guy I tasked with, the main lead, right? Basically, I have a few people working on it, the main lead, tasked to do it. Debug more than 3 weeks already, then cannot find solution. Then I knew something was not right already. Okay, that's not normal. So of course, eventually he resigned. All right, and then I have to regroup again, right? Another team, and I was searching high and low for people to lead this. Okay, it has to be a capable, right? Technical lead to be the least. All right. I try to convince some smart people, and yeah, it take me a few months. Can't find until my first Indonesian recruit, which I recruited from Facebook, by the way. His name is Vicky. Right.
Okay. So you scout around on Facebook, you go and stalk people on Facebook.
Oh, I do whatever it takes. If that's what I want to do, right?
Okay.
So he was, I look at some posting, then he was looking for some job, but his criteria, he want to work remote on it. Okay. So I go and grab him, 2018, I think September time. Then I restart the whole thing, right? Zappy 2.0, which is what you are seeing now.
Okay. Yeah. Which is working right now, I suppose.
Oh,
so much.
Way much better, but still a lot of things ongoing.
Definitely.
But it's in good hands now,
So for our audience, what is actually Zappy?
But that before I go into that Zappy thing, Manfred, let me hold you there a bit. Because you see, the reason why I want to actually lead up to this, I like what is actually leading up to, because eventually what we are actually trying to really get out from Adrian over here is I want to really look at his experience working with thousands of e-commerce sellers in the local scene. And I would like to see if there is anything that we can share with the community. Remember, now we have a lot of people are watching this at the moment. Now, if you're watching this, this is a Tree Marketer show. I'm Jason. I'm your host, and we have co-hosts like Manfred and Andrew here, and we have Adrian. Adrian is one of the earliest guy who built a e-commerce platform in the country, as in like a homegrown e-commerce platform. So if you have any specific questions, not just about e-commerce platform, you can ask him now why, is this Shopify better or e-commerce better? Chiwai is there, right? Chiwai, WooCommerce, cannot do Shopify one, right? So anyway, we have different school of thought, but I really want to go deeper on essentially, I want to bring up my next question, which is, you see, Adrian, you have worked with so many e-commerce sellers in the country. Definitely, you come from the service provider perspective. You definitely learn a lot of things about what are the needs, what are the struggles, and all that. So would you have anything that you would like to suggest? Like, can you name 3 biggest challenges that local businesses face when it comes to start selling online? And what would be your suggestion? Now, when it comes to this topic, I would like to see everyone to chip in over here. You see, like if you have any problems, if you're selling online, if you just got started selling online, what are the challenges that you're facing? This could be an opportunity you can learn from a person who built platforms himself. And then, of course, we have people like Manfred who have done a lot of selling online. And I have actually worked with a lot of sellers online, as in like helping them jumpstart, helping them find a way to actually bring in traffic and revenue. I think that is leading the discussion towards that angle that I think it can get very interesting. So remember, if you have any questions, feel free to type in the comment section below, because this is not just us talking, right? Although it's just us talking at the moment, you don't get to talk, no. But we will bring up a question. Okay, so now, Adrian, bring over this, share with us, what are the 3 biggest challenges that you think local businesses are facing when it comes to start selling online?
Okay. Throughout my 10 over years experience in the field, right, I've spoken to not less than 1,000 SME owners personally, all right? And I would like to, in my opinion, I think first thing, right, is really the mindset. Okay.
The mindset, you mean?
Yes. I want to give you an example.
Okay.
Right? I still remember, right, you guys recall this marketplace called 11th Street?
Yes.
Now they rebrand to Presto More already, right?
Which
is more
a lot of people don't even know already. I mean, Presto More. I don't have it in my phone now.
Yeah, but it's just a few years ago, right? They were very, very popular. In fact, they come in during the GST time, right? Which is the year 2015.
Heavily funded too.
By Celcom and Korean company, right?
Definitely. Eventually, they decide to pull out from the market, right? And they actually sell the company to this local listed company, PUC. Then they rebrand it. So in the early days, right, there was one attempt by 11th Street. I still remember the business dev team, right, told me they go into the mall, right? They one by one, they go in. They give them assistance, right, to help them upload the product to the marketplace. They give them the marketing program that they can participate in, right? And you know what? A lot of them turn it away. Say, I don't have time, I don't think this is important.
Honestly, it's still happening right now.
Yeah.
Still happening.
Listen, you imagine
Manfred is starting an e-commerce B2B or B2C kind of platform in Singapore also. So he's doing the onboarding now, that dude is doing the onboarding. Oh my God.
This is, I think, right, this is the main problem, if you ask me. Out of all, right, the mindset.
Mindset, all right.
Okay, I hate to always use China as an example because we can't compare as apple to apple. But when come into mindset, we can. You go to China, right, even a small shop, when they are not doing retail, right, they train their staff or even the boss itself, right, are busy handling customers, doing marketing, right, on Taobao, on JD, on the marketplace.
Yep.
Why the same thing cannot be happening here? Right?
Meaning that the involvement is
not hungry enough.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're not hungry.
Comfortable with whatever they're making right now. Is that what you mean?
One way. This is one part of it only.
Right.
Yeah. But also you have to question. We when it comes to hardworkingness and hungriness, right? Asian people, we cannot match China people one. Don't be
China is Asian also, man. No way. No.
I mean Asian in terms of South Asia.
South Asia.
Not Asia, right?
Yeah,
South Asia. Yeah.
And that's the reason why when COVID hit, right, so many people go crazy. Because they had no choice. They are totally not freaking prepared to go online.
But when COVID come, they have no choice, you see.
But they started.
They have to force until this corner, then they have to return the fight. This is where things start to happen.
Okay.
And I can give you a good example, right? Let's not talk about small guy. Small guy say, I'm an SME boss, and I have a few staff. I day-to-day operation, I'm busy. Understandable, right? What if you talk about bigger corporation, listed company with resources like Parkson? I want to name, right?
Okay.
And it's a good example I want to share out. You look at Parkson, right? I still recall before the 2015 GST, 1 month before, I still remember because their e-commerce manager, right, summoned us, to his office in Grand. Then when I was there, right, then she say, I'm ex-Lazada, I know all this, blah, blah, blah. I need you to do this. And I need the point of sales to be integrated on my e-commerce portal. And whenever I launch a 50% discount on this mouse offline, the online have to be synchronized the discount logic at the same time. So she quoted stuff like this. Then I was like, okay, technically this is already very challenging. Then I asked her, so when do you want it? Before GST come, I said, this is just another month from now. Then she said, okay, I know it can be done. I told her, I said, right, you can have all the money, nobody can deliver this shit for you, right, in 1 month.
I actually
I was
agree.
right. I was right, okay? And obviously, I think they will, of course, interview and talk to a couple of vendors, right? I don't think anybody has successfully able to commit or pull it off for them, okay? I don't know what actually happened between. But till only recently, right, they up their shopping site again, ParksonOnline.com, I think. Only recently, right? So this is the point. I mean, mindset, if you ask me, big or small, right? But eventually, right, you see the logic is very simple. you sell where your customer buy. Right?
Yep, I agree. But
So
when back then,
you buy online, why can't you try to serve the need of customer? It might not, okay, for a lot of retail, right? Because the way they look at it like this. Wow, you know, I even ask a lot of time this kind of question when I talk to all these established business. Then they say, hey, I'm doing 20 million now. You know,
okay.
so when I do online, right, can you guarantee me first year sales can generate me at least 2 million? Then I will look at it like,
Oh, I hear this a lot. Wait, I'm a digital agency. Can you imagine that?
you guys will be asked a lot, right?
Oh, I tell you, no idea, man.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't let them shoot us one. I will fight back one. Because these guys, when they ask this, right, they are talking nonsense and bullshit. Okay? Then I ask them, no. So did your landlord, right, when they rent the shop lot to you, do they guarantee you any fucking business?
Well, I think that's okay. I think
Right.
that's a good metaphor.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So and also it depends, you know, whether you have business or not. It's way more than just the product itself. The business model, your service, the market you are at, right? Your brand. There's so many things that contribute to a business success, right?
I agree. And mindset is definitely one of the things that we don't really get. Like you see, I actually onboarded a lot. I mean, before the COVID hit, you know, many years back, we actually onboarded a lot of businesses going online, and we get asked all these questions. I think I agree with you, because another thing about online is a lot of so-called conventional businesses, or let's say those established brands or even SMEs and all that, right? They, in a way, I'm not quoting anyone, but in a way, they actually kind of like look at online selling as something easy. They can happen overnight. Really, I have all this all the time. They will say that I lease the store, then I can start selling.
Whoever say that, never run a Facebook ad before.
Confirm lah. That's why I'm not saying that.
That's why you need to attend Jason Facebook ad class, okay?
No, I agree that this is really the mindset that we have to, because in a way they thought that it's easy, because not because they are not stupid people. These are all smart people. They run big businesses, but they are ignorant. They didn't spend a lot of time, at least not even find out about how this thing really works. So eventually, when a lot of them started online, you know what? I had a lot. People come to us, already have spent tens of, if not hundreds of thousands, building an e-commerce store and all this kind of thing. And eventually, and say that, how? And eventually what we boil down is, you know, I always like to tell people, if you want to start selling, you want to learn selling first, not about building the infra. But a lot of people spend a lot of money building the infra, but yet again, you know, when everything is up, they don't know how to sell. Then they actually kind of stumble. And all these people actually, in a way, they invested on their own e-commerce infra, as in like they build everything from scratch. And that is really the hardest way to manage, in a way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no freaking idea about building building something like that. And yet again, you build it. And then after that, you don't know how to sell. Wakaput, man. So I think I agree with the mindset thing. But what is the next one, Adrian? After the mindset?
The mindset will be the main stumbling block, right? I hope that throughout this crisis, right, more people can be more adaptive, and you know, because it's a must. You just have to sell where your customer buy. It's as simple as that.
True.
And I think the second challenge also, right? Let's say for more established local business, traditional business, the lack of talent pool in the market. Because I get asked this a lot, right? They say, hey, Adrian, so I want to do this. And you tell me, obviously, let's say you run a Shopify or whatever store. Of course, the boss, their time had to spend on strategizing, recruiting, you know, setting a lot of things, right? They're probably not going to run the day-to-day operation. What kind of people they should hire?
Very little people in the market that can do this well.
No, even they can do this well, they probably have started their own business on the marketplace itself already. Right?
True.
So that's why it's in short supply, such talent. And normally I would advise them train from scratch on it. Okay?
Train from scratch. Yeah, I think that's the right. But the moment they train the person out, they leave. It's usually it's very difficult to keep this kind of talent, to be frank. That's why another thing I can see, I agree with the talent thing, because a lot of e-com, a lot of businesses that we work with, right, I mean, a lot of clients, they try to learn to manage ads on their own.
Yeah.
They try to learn, they try to hire a team to build their so-called, to maintain an infra, but they have no idea how to manage this. So that is another angle, I think. Because do you know how to actually manage a person like Manfred? Manfred is super talented, but if you don't understand what he say, you would think that he craps. You know, so that's the biggest challenge. And when you don't know how to work with a programmer, do you know how to track their KPI? Do you know how to track all these things? So a lot of people kind of like, I think it's actually coming both ways. Of course, the talent pool in the market is kind of like shortage, but we also don't have a very good system for these people to be managed well inside these established companies. So I agree with you. I mean, the talent mismatch is one of the things that is really happening in the market for a long time.
Don't just talk about, let's say, people that know how to operate all these, right? I do have a junior recently, right? Because stewardess, right? And obviously not working as stewardess anymore due to the airline industry. And I think she joined a small company in Butterworth, learning how to sell all these home gardening things online. And I think she managed to pick up in probably a couple of months' time. It's a very, very doable way, you know. But of course, listen, on the kind of questions, right, after they know the child how, I don't have an answer.
I got a question. What happens if you don't train them, then they don't zao? Then how? You don't train them, then they don't zao. Right?
Then you cannot start also.
Right. They don't zao, then cannot make it. No, they don't zao. Then how?
Then you cannot.
Hey, remember, look at it in a positive way. If you don't train them, they don't do anything, they don't chow, and you still can feed them, right? Your company make a hell of a lot of money. So
not bad.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You can afford, right?
No, the answer is you must train them. You should be happy for them because when they go to other places, they level up. Then you still in contact and they say, "Hey, I still need another, a higher position." Then your new contact. They got
you should work in PR department, That's a good one. I agree actually.
They already they level up in another company. Then if in the near future you have a new opening, they already will come back to you, provided a good working relationship. Zhao is good.
True. I agree.
Right,
okay. I agree. Actually, one thing I learned about this, right? First of all, right, talented people, okay, they want to grow, okay. And not just in the compensation. Compensation is for granted. You have to pay competitively first, or even high, right? For the same kind of thing. They want to grow. So when you run, I give you an example, right? I understand if I run Zappy, if I don't grow it, I will soon lose my talented people.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Very simple one. I can tell you. Right? Because they want to see growth. They want to, go up higher. They want to see, right? Let's say now, some of you ask, what's a career path in your company? So I'm a small team now. I honestly tell them to have a career path, our revenue, our customer, our platform, right? Our business have to grow, right? That's the only way where you can afford to hire more talented people.
Yep.
If our business don't grow, when you don't grow, right, you have to realize something. You are backward. You are not actually in the same place, You will never make it. Yes, especially in terms of the kind of business that we are running.
True.
You go backward, then the bad cycle will come. This is one thing I realized. And I never believe in not training people. In fact, you should not, the concern about people leaving is, while it's real, it's unwarranted because I think as people who run the business, it's our job, right, to make sure talented people stay. And they stay, right, due to a lot of reasons, right? The right kind of culture, whether they find their job challenging or not. And for me, right, we work very hard to strive for balance of 70%, at least of their work, they find challenging, they can see growth. 30% might be mundane, might be the part they hate, but I tell them, I deal with that shit as well. You cannot be having, right, 100% of the job that you like one. Like, Jason, you run business, sometimes customers owe you money, right? You like to pay customers for money, but sometimes you have to do that, right? Because you are the business owner. Because if your customer don't pay you, you cannot, right, pay the salary of your team. But that's the part of job that you don't like, you see, but you have to do, you see. This is one example I like to quote.
True. I think that's a very good example. I mean, eventually now we have the mindset, which is I totally agree. And then the second one is about, you know, the talent pool. Now, what is the third one? What is the third biggest challenge that you think I mean, those businesses was trying to sell online is really facing?
Okay, if you look at the top two marketplace now, mainly Lazada and Shopee, right? We have too few brand builders. We have too many traders, if you ask me.
We have too few brand builders, too many traders.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between brand builders and traders?
That's a very good
right? Brand builders are, for me, people who probably build, design. Okay, it can be manufactured in China or whatever. They design their product. They have a brand name of their product, right? Rather than just buy and sell. Okay?
Make a brand out of it.
That's one thing, right? Now payment will become more and more frictionless, right?
Yep.
Now you go to Taobao. Do you realize that you can pay using Lazada wallet?
I have no idea.
Yeah, just for your knowledge. You go Taobao now. You're Malaysian. You can tie your Lazada wallet. You can use Lazada wallet to make payment in Taobao. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do shopping later.
So this kind of integration will make things easier as times goes by. And not to mention, you will see a full 5G implementation across Malaysia in 3 years' time, latest. I mean, 3 years' time. Of course, Singapore will be way, I think, faster than us, right? And so these things, right? I would say, right, we have to be, a trading economy, right? We're going to have stiff competitions, right? Coming from the China trader itself. Yeah. So that's a reality, and I will encourage, right, all the sellers, right, who are doing well, and which is a lot of them, by the way, right? Because still compete, by shipping out fast, getting good customer review. But if you have the resources, start investing in building up your own brands or design. You might not necessarily have it manufactured here because the whole supply chain might not be here. But I think you look at Amazon, eventually those win there are the guys that build brands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the three things I think, are the main challenges now.
Okay.
Right.
When you say a lot of things made in China, reminds me of this quote, God made heaven and earth, but everything else is made in China.
Actually, it's okay to be made in China. It doesn't mean that it's bad quality product.
Yeah.
Okay? But if anyone can source the same type of product as you, you will eventually lead out to a price competition.
Yeah. It's a commodity business, You don't start building that brand.
In e-commerce, price really differentiate a lot. A lot of people go for prices, but for my experience, is small items not so expensive. $1 or $2 differences, people still not so. But when things get more expensive, $10, $20 or $100 then your eyes, then that will be difficult already. And of course, ideally local stock lah. If you don't do drop shipping, 2-3 weeks, local stock will have an advantage. You can ask for higher price.
Yeah.
And always provide free shipping also lah.
Yeah, I mean competition will get stiffer, and furthermore, marketplace make it very easy to compare price, right? And don't mistake it. It also affect people who sell online. When people go to your store, they take out their phone, they search in the marketplace, check your price, and if it is something they can wait, they don't need now. Some will just buy online.
I admit, every time Facebook advertisement hit me, I go check AliExpress first. I can wait, ma.
If we can wait. These are the consumer behavior. Yeah.
If I'm more greedy, I will go 1688. if I don't mind ordering 10 earbuds, I can, okay, since it's cheap, I give it to my friend.
Yes, you are the
friend more,
consumers.
because I'm in this
consumers are getting
also.
heavier.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you see me?
Hmm?
Do you see me? Because I went disappeared a bit, I think. Just now.
Your video is a
frozen
bit jerky lah.
Yeah, jerky
But
again.
my light is a bit bad lah. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, now.
Yeah.
So thanks for the three key points that I believe local sellers should really pick up. Now, I want to bring to the next thing that that's really the most important thing that we want to talk about today. Now, share with us about Zappy, bro.
Okay, so Zappy, to put it simple, we are a data tech platform, right, that enables sellers to synchronize products, your inventory, your customers, and the order details, right, with top marketplaces like Lazada, Shopee, Presto Mall, Lelong, the 4 we are supporting currently in Malaysia, with very popular and fast-growing platform like Ecommerce, online store platform I'm talking about, Shopify. And at the same time, we can pull back all your orders, pump it back to your accounting software, namely we already support SQL, AutoCount. For cloud-based accounting, we already support QuickBooks, and I'm talking about live deploy for customers. All have customer using one. And the latest one coming out is Zero. Okay, we will launch Zero in February. Okay,
Zero.
Which is another month. Zero, XERO. The very popular accounting cloud accounting platform. They mainly dominate in New Zealand and Australia. And actually, they want to come into South Asian market since the late of 2019. They actually have a big event here. But the COVID incident basically crashed the whole year 2020 marketing program. That's why they didn't come in here. Okay, but this is one of the party we will work with. And also, not forgetting, if you eventually want to sell offline, we actually work and partner closely with cloud post company like Xeonext. Okay, and also StoreHub, right? But for Xeonext, we have much more tighter integration. Okay. Imagine if you are using, Xeonext Post, we can easily get your SKU inside your point of sale systems, right? Onboard over to Lazada, Shopee, or even your own shopping cart platform running on WooCommerce and Shopify. Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, basically, I missed a lot of comments coming from Chiwai. Chiwai is the solo commentator tonight. Chiwai said he wants to connect with you. Okay, I just brought up one of a comment from Chiwai. He said he want to connect with you because
Hi, Chiwai.
What Chiwai does is Chiwai built all this, customization for businesses. So definitely on his hand, he has a lot of clients that has WooCommerce store and all that. So he wants to work with you. And then Chiwai was saying,
can you send me on Facebook? And thanks for the opportunity. We'd love to work with you on this.
So Chiwai was saying, what if he has an e-commerce system that is not in your list?
Chiwai, for our list now, we cannot support now. And because there's a lot of things ongoing on our platform, we are still building. And whatever you see on the synchronizers, I talk about PICO, right? Product, inventory, customer, and orders, are only the first thing we want to offer to our customers. Eventually, you will see more services running on our platform. We will run multiple services to cater to actually the seller needs, basically to enable them to do omni-channel. And we will have to wait until our public API is ready. Okay, we definitely going to get it ready, right, by Q3 this year. Then, while this API consumption, we will be able to actually work with a lot of parties. Mainly, I'm looking at more tighter integration and partnership with companies ranging from doing EWMS or CRM, and we want to be friends with everyone, right? But we have to take care of our core nicely first, which is what we are working hard on now.
Yep, I'm quickly bringing up, Zappy website. So basically, all you need to do is to just go to zappy.com. And this is what. So basically, I think it's very easy to sign up. Just click sign up now. It's free. Free. Yeah. So this is the, what do we call? This is the.
Okay, we want to empower new seller. Even if you're a new seller, right? I think if you get your foothold right, you start it right, you can use Zappy for free. As long as your orders is less than 100 orders a month now, you auto reset. Okay. Of course, we hope that as your business grow, you will become our paying subscriber as well.
So that will bring me to the next question. Now, basically, this is the one. You know, this is the website of the week. So go to zappy.com. So Manfred is off of his duty today. Manfred, you're welcome. So, because Manfred is the guy who is supposed to do his website of the week, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's supposed to be the one who actually share one website every week to you know, about things that are interesting. Now,
so let me remind Jason to put the Zappy website inside the comments for both Facebook and the YouTube.
Okay. Let me do that.
Then let me ask Adrian one question. Zappy. So can I say Oberon is one of your competitor? Oberon. Oberro. Oberon. The one that linked with AliExpress.
Oberlo.
No. So there's
actually
still
Oberlo, they are from day one, right? They want to enable drop shipping one. We have nothing to do with drop shipping. We don't design for drop shipper one.
So yours is more like system integrator, right? System integrator. Can I say that you're a system integrator?
You mean we are system integrator?
No, actually yours is software.
Synchronization is a software that pulls the data out from marketplaces and synchronize over their own place. And then they kind of like populate the report and give you kind of like an omni-channel overview. Is that kind of a thing?
Yes.
You know, and then they synchronize with your accounting. Yeah.
A few pain points we solve is, first of all, reduce overselling, because offline normally you don't have oversell issue. People come, no stock, then they buy other thing, right? But online, right, you have overselling issues. So you have to make sure your stock availability, right, are as accurate as possible. So I think by using Zappy, we can easily help to reduce more than 90% of overselling issue. Okay. And the second thing are the things like, example, like customer insight. I give you an example. Okay. You can ask your friends, those are selling in Lazada and Shopee, especially. We just talk about these two marketplaces. You just ask them one question. So who are your top 100 customers?
I have no clue.
No idea.
No freaking clue.
You see what they answer you. So I will believe 9 out of 10, right? They won't have a clue. Okay? And even the 10 guy who might have some system that have a clue one, they might need to ask his guy to go and pull some report. We will take him a couple of hours, if not a few days, to find out who are their top customer, right? But if you use Zappy, we can answer this right within a click. So just click out there and look at, this frequency, this customer have bought from me, right? Let's say 50 times. The average order value is about 60 ringgit, right? So the lifetime value is 3,000 ringgit. So we consolidated the customer purchase behavior for you. And obviously this is just the start, right? There's a lot of things we want to improve, right? And innovate in this front. Eventually, we want to make it a very, very useful customer data platform that will encourage, right, our user can utilize to encourage repeat purchase, right, from their user, from their customers, right? Because eventually, you guys are doing marketing one, we all know that it's always, right, much cheaper to serve your existing customer compared to get a new one, right?
Totally agree.
To upsell to existing customer that they already have their trust based on you. So that's one of the goals, you know, we want to do. And why we call ourselves a data platform? Because we want to enable, right, all this data to tell story in a way that can help our users to make better business decisions, right? Just look back the top customer as an example. If they want to do event, if they want to do reward thing, right? They want to reward their top loyal customers. They can easily pull out the data, right, and engage them, right? Through a party, right, and give them an experience like that they will never forget.
When you do until a certain size itself, ideally you want to know the top 25% user, then grab their email, put inside Facebook, advertise to them.
Would you be integrating with any email marketing platform?
No. Okay, one thing you guys have to know, Lazada and Shopee, they don't give out email one.
What about SMS blasting? I know about
That's
that.
another thing. Yes, this is something we will enable. All
Okay.
right.
So you get the handphone number lah. You can get a handphone number lah.
You can get, but you can't get email one for some reason.
Even phone number, you have to utilize it within the terms and conditions lah.
Okay.
Because sometimes
we all
a great area. People can always argue that actually
you
whatever
text
we
me,
provide,
right?
they already have. You understand? Because whatever platform, they need to give you phone number. Otherwise, the deliver company won't deliver for you guys.
True.
Okay.
True.
No phone number. They ask you to deliver yourself. Okay.
True.
No one will deliver. So they can actually provide this to you.
Yeah,
We just type it in a way that give you very insightful things about your customer that you want to know. Examples just like your top 100 customers, right?
True. That they will bring us to the next question. Okay, so what is the difference between Zappy and SiteGiant? Everybody knows that both SiteGiant and Webshaper, Adrian, Stanley, these are good friends. You see, these are all good friends. So I work with SiteGiant, I work with you, but we all know SiteGiant kind of like is the leader in terms of the integration thing. So what makes Zappy different from SiteGiant?
Okay, I think there are a lot of difference, but for audience, right, I just want you to walk away with 3 things only.
Okay.
First of all, right, Zappy, right, we have 5 characters only. SiteGiant have 9. So we are shorter. Okay, and we are .com. The shorter, the better. Always, when it comes to .com name. Agree or not? That's the first thing. Second, you can start Zappy for free. You can't do that with SiteGiant. Okay? We are freemium. And why we do freemium is very simple. We want to empower new sellers, right? And as their business grow, we want to grow together with them. That's one thing. And obviously, secondly, right, we want to actually give our users, our prospect, a chance to actually try our stuff before you sign up. So check out our stuff, right? While our interface is not yet the best, but I want to share with the audience, right? When we build our product, we care about 3S. We want the 3S to build inside the product itself. So this 3S actually doesn't stand for English name, it stands for Malay name. Okay? Because my team, right, is a multicultural team. We have Indonesian, we have Syrian, we have Malay, we have Chinese in the team. Okay? So the first S is Senang Pakai, which is easy to use. Second thing is
Senang Pakai means yes, easy to use.
Nice to use. Okay? The third one is stabil. To do one S is hard enough. And we care about building this 3S right into Zappy, and we work very, very hard towards it because we know that we are still far from it, what we want to achieve. Okay?
All right.
And my team is working tirelessly on that. Okay.
I like
and
the mindset.
Third thing, Zappy, right? If you are utilizing Shopify, if you are utilizing WooCommerce, these 2 very popular platform, very fast-growing platform, and with a lot of add-ons, Zappy can support. Okay? We are designed for it.
Right.
Check it out. So only these 3 things. Another few thousand things, sign up.
And you find out yourself, right?
Schedule a demo with my sales team, and they will share with you more.
Okay. Now, I have a question from Chiwai, who is obviously a user. You have to take care of Chiwai. Chiwai has a lot of questions, man. Now, Chiwai is asking what's the difference between the basic analytics versus your advanced analytics. That's obviously something that only you know.
Okay, Chiwai, the advanced analytics is something, right? Currently, okay, we plotted, right? One of the advanced analytics report we do is, right, we show you on a Google map where your concentration on the orders, right, originate. Okay. So okay. Imagine, right? We want to answer question like this. Now you are studying online, correct? You are a young fella. You graduate. You start online business. Then you have been running it for 1-2 years. So your sales have been growing, right? Until now, you accumulated, let's say, 50,000 orders. Then you still realize, hey, in Malaysia and Singapore, I read a report, right, telling only 8% of the total retail sales are being done online. Okay, not even 10%. If you look at China, I think 35% to 40% range.
That high
US, 54%. What does it mean? oh, a big chunk of customers still buying offline, right? So now he want to actually venture offline. He know COVID, he got good deal in all the, shop lot rental or even can nego with the shopping mall. Then what is the best place for him to open his first physical store? That's the question we want to answer.
So you can drill that.
They click, they see the concentration. 35% of my orders actually come from this Selangor, Shalam area. Let's call it like 35000 zip code. So the data tells you, right, your first store should be there. So there's one of the report, right? We make it available on Advanced Analytics.
Nice.
Yeah. So Tiwai, hopefully it answer your question. But honestly, there's a lot more we have to do on that part. What we have now is not enough.
Just a surface.
Obviously, I can see what our friend is doing. Obviously, I can see what Adrian is trying to do now, and his company is trying to do now is actually to build a big data made available for e-commerce sellers to really take themselves, their business to the next level. Amazing. Thank you so much for, all the sharings and, really enjoy this. I mean, the next time we come in, we probably want to drill deeper on a different topic, but, because we have time limitation, it's already past 1 hour. Thank you so much. We still have quite a number of people watching this on Facebook and YouTube alike. If you're watching this is a 3 Marketeers show. What we do is we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. to discuss one digital marketing related topic. So even we have Adrian. So next week we have Manfred. Are you confirmed? Have we confirmed?
Yeah. So we'll be covering the video storyboarding.
Video storyboarding. My goodness.
Yeah, he's an expert in Facebook marketing also doing projects and also teaching in Singapore. So awesome. I finally got another friend in Singapore. So I'm interested to share with you more. But Adrian, I find it difficult to say no to you after you mention all the things. You make it very easy, the gentle curve. Yeah.
That guy is a sales
help you spread the word in Singapore. Hopefully you have more Singapore customer.
Just to share with the team before I close this, right?
Yeah.
Actually, from the day one when we do this, we want to be where Lazada and Shopee are. And definitely by this year, you will see us having customers from Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia as well. Yeah.
Okay. Look forward to that. That's awesome. All right.
We are working on that.
Yeah, Chiwai is saying that they want to connect. Chiwai, just go over and hit up. He knows that he recognized your Avenger logo already. But he would definitely reply you. Don't worry about that. Okay. So I mean, thank you so much, Adrian. Adrian, don't go yet. I mean, after we close this, let's go backstage a little bit. But thank you so much, everybody who is watching this. If you like to see what you're seeing right now, remember to hit the like or subscribe button to make sure that you'll be notified every time we go live in the future. So next week, it's our 19th episode. We have a guy who talks about video storytelling, which is one of the most essential things that you need to learn about creating effective content and advertisement for your Facebook and digital marketing campaign. So basically, stay tuned next week on Wednesday, and hopefully the following we might have a female marketer. Finally, we have another one. But wait, let me confirm that and I'll bring it up. Sorry?
All guys
I mean, we only had one Jamie. We only had Jamie.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to invite female because they sleep early. So we are working hard on it. Let me work on that. All right. Yeah. So with that, thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you next week at the same time. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure talking with you all.
Oh, thanks, Adrian. Thank you so much. And if anyone wants to work with Adrian for whatever, you want to sign up the package or you want to ask more questions, just hit him up. Okay. All right. See you next week, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.